And of course, it is time once again for PE class with my old mate, Jarret Garn. Hey, mate, how's it going?
It's going good, Ben. It's going good. I'm
Now,
I'm
Mike. Oh, sorry. Keep
Oh
going.
no, I was just gonna say it's good because I've currently got that movie Grafted in my rearview mirror at the moment. I know that it hasn't come out in Australia yet, though obviously it's been announced that it's playing Monster Fest. But it's good to see the film finally come out because we went over to New Zealand like I feel it was like April or May of 2023 to shoot
Yeah,
behind the scenes of
over a
that film.
year
It was a
ago.
long time ago. Yeah, a long time ago. It was before the renaissance of physical media, before we
That's
saw all these beautiful, editions coming out, which I just want to speak on briefly is that at the moment, obviously, we've got all these great local companies like Viavision with Imprint, Umbrella releasing these beautiful editions, and in most cases, obscure films that are getting a release, which is fantastic. But in the UK, they're just going hog wild with releasing collector's editions of really generic kind of movies that don't need, the extra pack. And you're not getting, booklets, you're getting lobby cards and posters and things. Like I just saw announced they're releasing the Ring remake, which has been out a million times on 4K already. And they're reissuing it with a whole bunch of crap that's going to set you back another $50 on top of what the standard price is. And then World War Z, and it just doesn't stop. Like I can appreciate Terminator, Nightmare on Elm Street, the classics coming out and having these deluxe editions, but these films, like I don't know, I feel like that they're going to kill it for the majors by releasing these things. Oh, and they didn't sell. Oh, so maybe we just won't do them anymore. And you're like, be selective. Anyway, that's my
I
main
just hope.
gripe.
I mean, I hope if they do World War Z that they include the cut that didn't work, the one that they
Yeah,
all hated
that
and
would be
had
great.
before they like give us something extra. Like give us the shit version. Like we've got the standard version, we've got the director's the extended version. Now it's time to release. They should start releasing the shit version of
Yeah, I want
big
to
films.
And
totally. The ones that went to test audiences and didn't
Yeah,
pass for whatever reason, because they might actually be really good, or
that's
they
right.
might be
Release it as the
bad.
inferior cut.
Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
that's
Stick
yeah.
it on the disc. But that's another gripe is that because you've got these majors like Paramount doing these editions and Warner, they're not licensing the extras that have been done by the boutique labels, whereas you've got, Sony who must have it written in contract that they basically own anything that's been made for their releases because they're able to put all the Criterion extras on their release as well, which are the most elusive extras of all because Criterion don't like licensing their stuff. These Paramount and like I mean, Screen Factory has done both The Ring and has done World War Z recently and done deluxe 4K editions of them in the States. And now they're getting a release in the UK just with the archival extras and a bunch of lobby cards. I don't know. It just seems like a missed
Well,
opportunity.
just to
And
follow up
yeah.
on, I think last week you talked about your suspicions on why the American Psycho took its time to get here.
Yes.
And I heard from a little birdie that it was held up at customs under suspicion of like the liquid was a suspicious substance of some sort. Yeah, I reckon maybe one or two leaked.
Oh, that makes sense. It
Yeah,
smells so good. The plastic reminds me of like action figures you had in the 80s, like
I've
He-Mans and
I've
things.
never seen one with Velcro on the side like that.
No, I know. I thought that was a weird touch because I'm like, oh, is it congealed here? No, it's Velcro. It's
does
like,
yours feel gross, Jarret? Uh, Glenn's
there we
Glenn
go.
sent me a video of his saying it felt gross. Does yours feel gross?
It doesn't feel right, but I like it. I like that. It's a good touch. I mean, it's a pretty spectacular edition, even without the blood pack. I'm really a big fan of it,
It's a good
but
looking one without the blood pack too.
it is. The art's fantastic underneath the J
Yeah.
card or O card, whatever you call. I don't know what do you call that, Ben? It's not a J card because it doesn't have the bit that comes down the bottom.
Yeah,
Is it an O
it's a
card
reverse
or
it's a reverse J card
a reverse
because
J card?
It is a J card. It's
It's
just
a
upside down.
no, it's an incomplete F card.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, but
yeah.
ooh, it's
Half
starting
a
to smell
P
like the
card.
plastic itself as well. But yeah, it's pretty wacky. I really like that. I'm going to do an unboxing for that on the Monster Fest socials because it's just too good not to.
Yep.
I think it's fantastic. And hopefully Viavision do some more of these. Hopefully they'll do that Overboard special edition that Severin didn't do with the 2K remaster and get everyone back. Because if Imprint can do it, Imprint will get Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell for it.
They should get
They've
2000
got that kind of
Maniacs and
pull.
do it with that.
The Herschel Gordon Lewis one or the remake with Robert
Both.
England?
Double pack.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
doing
may as well.
collections.
Yeah,
They're doing collections.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, no, I'm all for it. But anyway, moving on to this week's releases, lads. It's not a terribly exciting week for releases. There are some DTV actioners, though, so no doubt that'll make Glenn happy. I will mention that one first, actually. Defiant Screen Entertainment releasing a film called Gunner. DVD only, as to be expected from Defiant Entertainment. Yeah, no subtlety with the title of this one. It's got Luke Hemsworth. I think, do we call him the other Hemsworth or do we call Liam Hemsworth the
Not
other
quite Hemsworth. Isn't he not quite Hemsworth?
Yeah, I get confused as to which one's, slightly higher on the totem pole.
No, he's definitely number 3.
Okay, so yeah, all right. And it's got Morgan Freeman in it, and I'd love to see it
DTV
because I
Hemsworth.
imagine
I
he's
think
in it
that's-
probably for like 10 minutes or something like that. So, but anyway, yeah, that one's coming out this week. But Defiant do have another release that I do want to check out. It's coming out in DVD. This one was a limited theatrical in the States, so it's not straight to video. It's got Antonio Banderas and Alice Eve. It's called Cult Killer. And it's a bit of a psychological thriller, but I'm dead keen to check that one out. So might check that one out, hopefully on the old streaming. Then moving on to Viavision. They're the only other distributor releasing titles this week. And, admittedly not the most exciting titles, not for, say, the Good Movie Monday crowd. We've got Greatest Days, the official Take That musical, which I do kind of want to see because I do have a soft spot for a bit of Take That. That's coming out Blu-ray DVD, should be interesting. It's supposed to be more of a throwback to like the MGM musicals of the 30s and 40s, so we'll see. As long as it's not like Mamma Mia, because I really didn't enjoy that movie, and I thought I would because I don't mind the music of ABBA, and I quite like the cast.
Man, you're saying all the wrong things on this episode.
Well, I overcommitted with that one. I bought both of them simultaneous. I bought both of them on 4K, and I barely made it through the first one, and I never
Pretty bad.
watched the second one. Yeah.
People think I should be ashamed of the shit I confess to on this show, but Jesus Christ, mate.
Yeah, well, look, yeah, I know. I sold them. They're already gone. They're out of the collection, out of the cupboard of shame and into someone else's cupboard of shame. The other one that Viavision are releasing, which is kind of, I guess, timely, is Golda or Gulda. I think it's Golda. There's no U in it. Golda. Yeah. This is a biopic on like the fourth, the fourth Israeli prime minister or something. Titular role played by Helen Mirren. So Ben, you should be excited for that one, no doubt, after your Prime Suspect binges. I don't know if she'll be getting it on with anyone in this one, I'd say, because it'd probably be fairly strict.
Gets it on with everyone in Prime Suspect.
No, this one is like Tennyson's List. It's like the unofficial Schindler's List.
This is the kind of movie you'd watch on a plane, I imagine. But anyway, it is getting a DVD and Blu-ray release if you do want to watch it in high def at home. Now, there's no other releases this week that are worthy of mentioning, but I do have some news with regards to some forthcoming titles. Now, November 6th is a huge date for 4K UHD because All Interactive Distribution are releasing a ton of Paramount titles, Universal, and I think there's one other distributor. Oh, a Studio Canal title as well, which is somewhat disappointing because I just bought the import release of it. Of course, it's Santa Claus the movie.
Yeah, I bought that too.
Yeah, we both got it. I could have held out to Christmas and got the local release, but doesn't matter. Anyway, that one's coming out alongside Smile. Odd that Smile's coming out probably a couple of weeks after the second one opens in theaters, but no big deal. I mean, that did get a release in the US and the UK simultaneous with the Blu-ray. So it's a bit of a late arrival locally, but a welcome one nonetheless, and it's got Atmos. Then we've got To Catch a Thief. We've got World War Z, but relax, gentlemen. You don't have to stress about paying that premium price for all that pap. It is just going to be the film and special features only. So no need for concern. We've also got Stardust, which I think's one of your favorites. Is that right, Glenn?
No, Ben.
Ben, it's yours. Yeah. Oh, I get this one confused with... I've never seen this one. I know it's Matthew Vaughn, so I've got to check it out. Matthew Vaughn is in Kick-Ass director Matthew Vaughn, not Matthew Vaughn, the star of Cat Sick Blues. But I do get it confused because I feel like they came out around the same time and I didn't see either of them. Across the Universe, I don't know why I get these two films confused. Yeah, but that's the one you like, isn't it? The musical one.
Yes, that's right. Stardust is one of Chloe's favorites.
Oh, well, there
But
you
it's
go.
been
Well,
all over,
we'll,
been on our TikTok, like mentioned a few times. That might be where you got it.
I'm pretty sure it's in the cupboard of shame there on Blu-ray,
It's
so I
in,
might not be in a rush to buy the 4K.
it would be in my cupboard of shame if I had one.
Okay, there you go.
It's
The last
pride
one I
of
want to
place in my
mention.
collection.
Your
Well, I
whole
own
house is a
everything
cupboard
else.
of shame.
I've seen everything and own everything else Matthew Vaughn's made, including that horrible sequel to The Kingsman, The King's Man, or I think
Yeah.
that's what it was called, The Golden Circle. Yeah,
Mm.
not great. I think I saw it at the movies with you, Ben. Did we go see that? We were
Uh,
supposed to go see something else, and then I fucked up, and
oh
we
yeah,
ended up at the wrong cinema. We were supposed to go see
yeah,
The Snowman
yes,
with
that's right. Yeah, we did a
yeah.
Jam Factory. Yeah,
And then so we're like, oh well, we'll go see the new Kingsman movie, and then
And
everyone left going,
and
oh,
Golden Circle had nothing to do with fruit salad, so I was very disappointed.
no.
yeah. No pineapple chunks. No
Totally
pineapple
missed
chunks other than the
opportunity.
ones that you blew yourself.
Last one I'll mention coming out November 6th also is Ghost locally, which I'm super excited about. And I'm hoping that it might follow in this tradition of all interactive distribution. If the special features aren't on the 4K, they've started bundling the Blu-ray with the 4K. Because I picked up Election in Adelaide with Ben, and I was so delighted that all the special features are on there because that was a great $30 purchase, maybe even a little less because it was during one of their 20% off sales. So very happy. That one is somewhere. It's not going in the cupboard of shame. It might have even already gone into the collection, to be honest. Now, the last thing I do want to mention is a focus film recommendation for this week. Very easy one, seen it a million times. But the sucker I am, I have to buy every version of it as it's released, and it's Squirm, Jeff Lieberman's classic. It's just been re-released on Blu-ray. It's been out of print for a while in the States. It was out through Screen Factory. It's out of print in the UK, where it was out through Arrow. This one ports all the Screen Factory special features, and it has this beautiful slip cover. Even has a reversible sleeve that I won't show you. But the really cool addition of this is a new audio commentary with Lee Gambon and John Harrison. And unfortunately, it's one of the last that Lee recorded. It was probably about a week or so before his passing that he recorded it with John. They did a couple together. I think they did Food of the Gods as well, which I've got here and I'm very excited about. But yeah, so no uptick in picture quality. It's the same master that we've seen before on the Screen Factory and Arrow release. But like I said, it's got the commentary and it's got this attractive slipcover. And if it says Squirm, I'm going to buy
Who
it.
released it? Who released
This
it?
is Kina Lorber, yeah. So it is locked to Region A. So if you aren't able to play international discs from the States, be warned that that's the case with this one, unfortunately.
Am I mistaken? Didn't a few years ago, more than a few years ago, you and I tried to get Jeff Liebman on the old show and
Yes.
to do Satan's Little Helper, but he just proved to be a bit too prickly, and we like fuck this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember. And then we were going to get him for the Squirm episode, but I think it was a similar sort of thing. So we got John Harrison on, and he did a little bit about Squirm, which was terrific. But yeah, so you still haven't got Lieberman yet, and I'm sure
I'm
there's
not
an
I'm not
anniversary
sure.
of one of his
I
5 or
don't-
6 films.
I don't know. I want to. Like,
No, you've got to. He's great. Like he's just yeah. But the funny thing, Lo, even though he didn't appear on it, he was the first to seek it out and message us about it. Because I remember getting a message. I don't know if it was for the Satan's Little Helper or Squirm, but he messaged us about it.
Squirm, I think.
Squirm, yeah. So it was really cool. So yeah, I mean, Liebman's doing this convention in the UK in November with Treasured Films, who are a UK distributor and web store, and they're going to screen all of his films, and he's going to be doing a Q&A following each of them. And man, I'd love to go to the UK for that. I really would. I'm trying to convince John Harrison he should. I'm like, mate, go and host one of the Q&As, and you could probably do a tax write-off on the trip.
Yep.
But yeah, anyway,
maybe we will. Yep, awesome stuff.
Excellent. Well, gentlemen, that's it for me this week, unless you've got something to say there, Benjamin.
Oh, well, I do. But before you go, of course, this week, because I know that you get upset if we don't include you in these discussions.
Yes.
This week, we did announce, or the end of last week, we announced the Monster Fest program for this year. Big announcement, big films this year, some great stuff.
Huge.
Opening night, of course, The Rule of Jenny Penn, the latest James Ashcroft film, which we have both seen, and it is fucking excellent.
So good, like so good. I
really
think it's about to have its world premiere at Fantastic Fest too, and we get it like a week later. So it's a bit of a coup, and we're doing it in all the cities, which is fantastic as well. And this is
'Cause-
well ahead. This thing's not going to get a theatrical release until probably maybe March or so next year, probably after March. So if you want to see it, and I get on the ground level and see it before anyone spoils anything about this film for you, because you're
Cool.
best going in as blind as possible. John
Blind as
Lithgow
you
and
can.
Jeffrey Rush.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's great. We've also got there's a new Hellboy film that's come out, Hellboy Crooked Man. We've got Azrael, the new Samara Weaving.
It's great.
film
It's great.
playing.
It's like a lo-fi, quiet place, but sort of with a more religious bent, and it's terrific. And it's full on, like lots of practical effects. Very intense film.
We've got Generation Terror, the Phil
Yes.
Escott, Sarah Appleton documentary on late 90s, early 2000s or 2000s horror, which is great. What else have we got? What
It's
else?
good because like the
There's,
doco covers everything from Final Destination through Hostel, Blair Witch. It's pretty all encompassing, and we're doing in Melbourne. We're doing a companion sort of screening another night. We're doing Final Destination for the Final Destination, although it really wasn't because they made another two after that, and there's another one that's probably coming out next year. But the Final Destination is in 3D, and we're going to be screening it in 3D. And I can tell you, I saw it in 3D theatrically, and it is absolutely an experience unto its own in 3D.
Because it doesn't have the logs, I don't think, but it does
No,
have
that's number
it's the one that
two.
starts at the racetrack.
Yes.
And you got the cars and stuff coming at you. It's amazing.
Absolutely. I saw this, funnily enough, I saw it at Man's Chinese Theatre, maybe the Chinese Theatre 6. And when I saw it, it was not only in 3D, but it was in D-Box as well. So we're moving around like in a NASCAR like this, and you've got a dial, I think it's 1 to 5, the level of intensity. And Danny turned hers right down to 1 and watched the movie in 1. I was riding that thing on 5 all the way through it. I had whiplash by the time I came out of it.
It's like being at one of those cowboy bars in Nashville. Like,
Yeah, totally. Oh, it was great. And then you have to get up because you're like, oh, no, I'll just get up. No. Walk out like this.
Better than a washing
It's a lot of
machine.
vibration.
Better than a washing machine.
Yeah. And Frankie Frico.
Frankie Frico,
Now-
the new not Astron 6, but
Steve Kostanski,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Film,
This
which
is fantastic. This is the movie you wanted the Garbage Pail Kids movie to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, I like the Garbage Pail Kids movie, but I can't not stress the fact I was super disappointed as a kid, disappointed throughout my life until I just gave up all hope and learned to love it. This is love at first sight. This is a fantastic film.
This is great.
Frankie Frico for the
really
win.
good.
It's so fun. It's so funny, and it's consistently funny from start through finish. I think
Awesome.
everyone's going to have a
It's on my
wild
radar.
time with that one.
Big time.
Yeah. We've also got the Australian premiere of Terrifier 3, which we did announce a couple of weeks ago, but we haven't spoken about on the show.
Splatterific.
So that's a big one. We don't even know exactly. This is how under wraps that film is. We don't even know the exact runtime yet.
I believe I may have tracked that down.
Did we find it out?
I think it might be 128 minutes because I think I found it somewhere, and I just figured, oh, well, maybe it's public knowledge now. Well, now it is.
That's shorter. That's
No, it
shorter
is.
than part 2, isn't it?
It's shorter than part 2.
Still shorter than part
so, yeah,
Yeah.
and they've got more of a budget. So, look, I think they're going to go.
So,
I haven't watched it yet. Admittedly, I've not watched it yet.
Because I said to Ben
I'm going to watch
days,
it with an audience.
I said to Ben a few days ago, like just for work purposes, like, have you got a screener that I can maybe catch? Because do a write up. He's like, dude, we haven't even seen it yet.
No one's got a
This-
screener.
The screener we were offered initially, that I think Grant may have watched and Kim may have watched, they were still locking off the sound. It was picture edit, was
Yep.
picture locked, but they were still working on the sound. And I was like, this is the kind of movie that if I'm going to watch, I want to watch with an audience. I want to hear people
Definitely.
laughing and being grossed out and shocked. So,
Yep.
yeah, I'm going to do it. And I mean, I think it was even the actor who plays the clown who had said while they were filming some of the
Dave
stuff
Thornton?
was so gross. Yes, that he was dry reaching. And I was
Nice.
like, okay, well, that sounds like my
Yeah.
cup of tea.
Oh, and that footage of him on the tricycle is hilarious.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, it's a great trailer. What else is there, Ben? I feel like we're
We've got-
missing something of vital
got,
importance.
We do have friend of the show, Matthew Holmes's latest film, Fear Below,
Yes,
which is a shark film, a bull shark film.
A ye oldie shark movie takes
Ye
place.
oldie.
is that in the 40s? Yeah. And
It's
that's doing
odd.
multiple cities as well, yeah? Because we're doing it in Melbourne. I think we're doing it in Sydney.
And in Adelaide.
In
And
Adelaide, yeah.
maybe Brisbane. But
So
definitely
Perth
Adelaide
are
and
the only
Sydney.
ones that potentially
Perth are
miss
the only
out.
ones who don't get anything
Oh, well.
extra. Yeah.
Too many sharks over there.
Yeah, totally. They don't want to
we do
incite
also
any kind of
have,
panic. Plus, it's our revenge for them locking off WA from the rest of Australia.
Yeah.
So you can't have everything, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
You want to
you got a
see? This is what happens.
Full Monster Fest program or monkeypox. You take your and I think we've also got, of course, the one we have spoken about, but Grafted, the film that we've been working on for over a year, is finally making its having its Australian premiere. So that'll be exciting. A lovely little New Zealand body horror that has been described as Mean Girls meets Face Off. So
very cool poster art for that one.
Yeah, it is great art. Yeah, great art. Both. There's two posters. There's the poster that was refused.
Our original poster was refused in New Zealand for being too graphic. So after a hasty, we made a hasty 360 and came up with something that I think is also pretty good. Although I think my comment when I first saw it, and would talk to you, was that it looks like a VC Andrews novel cover.
Yes, yeah.
Missing a lot of incest.
There's going to be people walking out disappointed that there was no incest. They'll be like, "Look, it was a good film, but what it could have done with was a little bit of brother sisterly love."
That's right. I'm going home to mum.
Oh, and there was one other one that I remembered that we're doing in Melbourne. I don't know if we're doing this in the other states. Ben will be able to confirm. Chainsaws were singing, not swinging.
Chainsaws are singing, yeah.
Chainsaws are for singing, not for swinging. That's correct, yeah. In a Estonian, crazy, balls out movie, 10 years in the making, that somewhere sits between, like, I don't know, One Cut of the Dead, Texas Chainsaw, Evil Dead, and something else.
It's, a lot of buzz for that one.
Yeah. I'm using that.
I think the still that we have for the film is literally a guy getting a chainsaw up the backside.
Nice.
Beautiful.
So that, Beautiful. But he does have a grin on his face while it's happening. So
the
other film,
the
film that I'm most excited about playing, which is unfortunately only playing in Melbourne, is a French film called Ultimate Chebit.
Oh, yes. And, this one has been years in the making of Ben coordinating getting this film too.
It's great. And it's like in France, it's basically tag, but it's only played with boys, and to make the other person you have to tap them in the balls and yell Chebit. And these guys take this childhood game and start an adult league.
I have to watch this. Do they use towels?
No, it's 100% like it's And the actual the logo of the league is a fist. But basically, the preoccupation with not being chebited, literally society grounds to a halt. And civilization kind of reverts back to a kind of almost like a medieval kind of time. And to the point where there then becomes, out of the ashes of society, this villain called the Eunuch arises. He's desperate to stop the game, and he'll do that by castrating any man he comes across so that they can no longer play the game.
I love it.
There's reports that he wears a necklace of his victims' dicks around his neck.
What we're going to be careful of is that this movie doesn't inspire Simondo and Ryan to engage in this activity in the foyer afterward. I'm wearing a cup. I'm going to wear a cup that night that movie screens, just to be on the safe side.
That's right.
That's what I was trying to convince Grant that we should invest in some novelty cups. To hand out at the screening.
Yes.
Jock straps you wear on the outside.
On the outside, yeah.
Clockwork Orange style.
That's one-upping the raincoats from the what was it called? What was that movie
We Kill
called?
for Love.
We Kill
We
for
Kill
Love.
for Love
Yes, the
screening.
documentary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gave everyone
What you should
rankings.
no, you should get those testicle bull bars, and people have to wear them on the night.
Yeah. Yeah, if you wear one of those pair throughout the festival, you drink for free. Moondogs galore.
Awesome.
Excellent. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Oh, look out. Sorry, I'm cutting you off, Ben.
Sorry, I was going to say there's plenty more. That's just a taste. That's a taste of the Melbourne
little
program.
taster. Yeah, there is. There's so much stuff playing that initially we were aiming not to do counter programming so that you wouldn't have films play simultaneous, but there's a glut of good content, so we ended up having to do it. But we've worked it out, so hopefully, you like one thing, you're not going to miss the other thing because it's not your bag.
Yeah, they're not the same material. Yeah.
Precise. Yeah. And there is one film that we can't mention at this point in time because we're still waiting to see if it gets across the line. But if it doesn't make it, the substitute film is going to be amazing as well. To be honest, I'm actually really excited about the substitute film if it happens.
I think, Glenn, you will actually journey down to Monsterfest if the substitute film does happen.
Yeah. It'll be a rare opportunity to see something like this on the big screen.
Amazing. And I'll find out after we wrap this up.
Yes. Mum's the word.
Yeah,
and sister too. The whole family.
Right. Yeah. I was kind of saying to Grant, like maybe don't try so hard for the
yeah.
And please screen it on my birthday.
What day's your birthday?
It's the 10th. Nah, that's all good.
No, so I know. Yeah, look, the festival does run from the 4th to the 11th, so it's in there amongst it. It's close to the 10th.
Close enough.
I can tell you.
Oh, here we go. He's checking his shopping cart again.
Yeah.
But I've got a valuable update. Ben has pulled the trigger and he has ordered that video game with Terrence Hill and Bud Spencer. Not Terrence Stamp, not the Priscilla video game that'll probably be coming out for the 31st anniversary of the film next year.
That's right. And it's got a game of Tucky as a little side bench.
Yeah. It would be the 8th, Glenn, so a couple of days before your birthday.
That's right. Yeah,
but
pre-celebration.
Very close enough. Close enough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, and it's a weeknight, so it's probably going to be a bit easier to get around maybe than a weekend.
Brilliant.
Anyway, gentlemen, look, that's it for me. And thank you for involving me in the Monsterfest discussion. It was a thrill to talk about these films. It's such a weird sort of thing. You work on these things for months and then you race to the finish and then you sort of don't even come to grips with the fact that it's a reality and it's happening until you're physically there. So, it's kind of good to get it out and exercise the demon.
Awesome. So,
all right, gentlemen, until next time. Stay physical.
Stay physical.
Deliberately does that.
Yeah.